We're going to get started. So this webinar today, we have a guest with us today, a Monday.com specialist, Gidon Sobel. This is about bringing from chaos to control in your business. And Christine and I have started using Monday.com for our internal business, as well as some of our other business. And we've just found it such a benefit that we wanted to bring it to everybody and share our experience and bring an expert on to really show you how you can maximize Monday.com for your real estate business. So a little bit about us. Together, we have 50 plus years experience in marketing and design. Christine has over 15 years of experience in the real estate industry. I have a little bit less than that. But my experience lies in design and advertising. I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years, and branding and marketing is close to my heart and incredibly important to me. So I'm going to pass it over to Christine. She can tell you about herself.
Awesome. So welcome, everyone. We are super excited that you're all here. And we're really excited to share Monday.com with you and how we utilize it in our business. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Christine George, and my entire career has been invested in the marketing space. And in the last almost 16 years now, I have been working in the real estate space, helping broker owners and agents grow their business through marketing strategies and business development strategies as well. So together, Carrie and I created Post and Beam a year ago. We just celebrated our first birthday together. And I don't know, I'm interested in your opinion. Everywhere we go, people tell us we look like sisters. And to be honest, Carrie looks more like my sister than my brother does look like my brother. So I don't know. Let us know if you agree or not. But you can, yes, for sure. Right, Margot? Okay, we can take it to the next slide, Carrie. So I also just want to introduce briefly Gidon Sobel. He is with Plum Consulting. He's the CEO and founder, and he is one of Monday.com's largest partners. He's a platinum partner, and he's going to introduce himself a little further down. But before we go into that, I want to just give you a little bit of background as to why Monday, why this webinar. So when Carrie and I started our business a year ago, we started to, build the number of clients we were working with. We had a number of projects that we were, working on simultaneously. We had a social media calendar that we were creating and executing. And, it's really hard for two people to keep things in their heads. So, and a spreadsheet just does not cut it. So we discovered Monday.com, and it has been a game changer for us. And specifically, it not only helps us organize our business, keep track of our tasks, but it also allows us to collaborate with our clients. So those of you who are on and are working with us, you have experienced it, that it has really streamlined the way that we communicate with each other, and it's created a lot of efficiencies. So that's really the reason for the webinar today. And we are getting no commissions, no kickbacks, no nothing. This is strictly, we believe in the product. And like I said, it's been a game changer for us. So I know you guys are doing a million things for your transactions. You're following the lending process. You're following the inspection process, the contracts, the social media, the promotion, the marketing of your listings. I mean, there is so much that goes into one single deal. If you're out there trying to do multiple deals at one time, there's absolutely no way you're keeping it in your head. And I'm here to tell you that spreadsheet, it's just not going to work for you long-term if you want to grow your business. So we wanted to share that with you, share Monday with you today. And Gidon is actually an expert in the real estate space in terms of how to actually utilize Monday for a transaction. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to learn today. The first thing you're going to learn is you're going to get an introduction to our listing package. We're going to show you what it is and how it saves you time and how it makes your listing shine. We'll show you a quick demo on how the listing package works with Monday.com. Then you'll get an introduction to Monday.com from Gidon, and he's going to share what Monday.com is and how it can streamline your business. And then he will actually go into a demo. Now, this demo, I have seen it. It is phenomenal, you guys. Like, it is everything you need to manage your transactions and make sure nothing falls through the cracks. So he's actually going to do a live demo. I promise you, it's not like this long, boring thing. Just grab your lunch, grab your latte, and dig right in. And he's an excellent presenter when it comes to tech demos. I've seen him live and in person.
No pressure, right?
No pressure. And then we have a couple of fun, things to share with you, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. So does that sound good? Give me a thumbs up. I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, who's going to share our listing package.
So I'm up next. So we wanted to share our listing package, mostly because Christine and I kind of jumped on, or as Gidon will say later, we got bitten by the Monday bug. And we were also coordinating this listing package with clients where, they place their order and we handle all these different elements that you need for your marketing. And I said, we really could just have this all be in Monday and make it more streamlined. And so we put this together and we learned as we went. But before we even talk about it, we need to show you exactly what it is. Because if you're not familiar with our listing package, you have no idea what we're talking about. So what you get when you have a listing package, first of all, if this is what your marketing is for your listing, it's not marketing. An MLS sheet is not marketing. What marketing really is, when you want to wow your sellers, it isn't even for the people coming to the open house. It's for the seller. It's for your client. You want them to feel like their property is shining and gorgeous and the marketing is amazing. So what we'll provide for you for every package is you get a listing sheet, fully branded, 8.5, 11 sheet, fully customized for your brand and everything, front and back. In addition to that, we also create what we call a digital QR sheet. It's a branded, frameable design, all about the property, but it's just one sheet. You can put it in a frame, and that QR will take people directly on their phone to your full listing brochure. And they can pull it up. They can look at both sides. It's downloadable as a PDF. So then they can save it to their phone to go back to it later. It's just this amazing resource. And I just want to throw in there, one of our clients that uses this, I checked her analytics recently of how many people used her QR for her most recent open house. She had 65 people scan that QR code. So that's some pretty good data on how people actually use that when they show up to an open house. So the last piece that you'll get is all at once, we create your 4 basic social media pieces that you are going to want to use in your social media for this listing specifically. And we work with you ahead of time to design and make sure that everybody's on the same page. They know what it's going to look like. And it all shows up in Monday, which I'll show you in a minute. But you have it all at once. So you're not scrambling when the property goes under contract to create your social media, or scrambling to create it when you finish the closing and the property is sold. It's already there. You've already got it. It's in your hands. And I think that that's a huge added benefit to just having it all done at once. So how does it happen? Well, we have an order form. And actually, Gidon will show you later how you can access this order form. But for now, we have an order form. You fill it out. We work with you ahead of time. Like I said, we create a series of templates, not Canva templates that you have to worry about, templates that we design for our use that are fully branded for you. And all you have to do is come in here, put in your name. If you're not the agent of record, you can say that you're not. And if you're an assistant or transaction coordinator, we have a spot for that too. You give us the address, you give us the on-market date, you provide the link to your photos. And we just need a PDF of that MLS listing sheet because we'll pull all the data from there. You don't have to go in and fill out how many bedrooms it is, how many bathrooms it is. You've already done that. And so here you can see how it's all visually set up. how you choose your template and your social media. And then it comes right over to monday.com. It automatically shows up. So that 457 Anywhere Street, that's the one I had just created. And it starts out as not yet started. And once we go in, we will say, okay, it's in progress. And the designer is there, the date it was submitted, who submitted it, who the listing agent, that's all there in front of you. And there's a drop-down menu where your listing brochure, your QR sheet, and your social media, they each have their own sub item. And as soon as we upload something for you to review, that status changes to customer input required, which is great because it will trigger an email to you saying, there's something for you to look at. It's ready. Come on in and give us your feedback. And here I am kind of putting all the elements in all at once because I want to show you how you can give us your feedback all within monday.com. No more emails flying back and forth. No more missing each other. No more downloading from your email. So here's the listing brochure for this particular listing. And you can make it a little smaller if it doesn't quite fit in your screen. You can adjust the views. You can comment on it if you want to change a photo. So you can comment right here in Monday, right here in the view. And you can even be specific as to which, say you want to change a photo. You can be really specific on which photo that is. Or we have an agent edits column, which you can also use. And then if you just change it to needs edits, I'll get a trigger. I'll also get an email. Any updates that you make in the listing, our team will get an email. But if you say it needs edits, we know to go back in, make those changes. And here I'm just showing you if there's a gallery of images, all your social media at once, you can just scroll through them and see them all at once. And you can see them down the side there. There's so many different ways that you can view things, whatever works best for how your brain works. And that's what is so great about Monday. It's organized, but if you have a somewhat chaotic brain, like I feel like I do, it works for that too. So once the agent says, okay, this is approved, everything's done, the status of the entire listing immediately goes to completed. And as soon as that happens, it jumps down to a closed listings group so that it's very clean. All of your listings that you no longer have to work on the marketing for, I'm not saying you don't have to work on them anymore, but once the marketing is done, it's under closed listings. And so when you come to your marketing board for your on monday.com, only the ones that are open that you're working with the designer on, only those are going to be up there at the top. And you can see still here on this sample client, we have not yet started and a couple that are in progress. And that's basically how we interact within monday.com with you. We could communicate that way, but not to say that we only will communicate with you through monday.com. I want to make it clear that while we love this tool and we think it's amazing, Christine and I both are always at the other end of the phone. You can always give us a call. You can always send us a good old-fashioned email. That's going to work too. We just love that all the communication kind of stays centralized and opened up in Monday because nothing really falls through the cracks that way. But we kind of pride ourselves on being very personal with our marketing, with our business and how we interact with our clients. So it's not to take away from that. It's more just to add to it and make it, a little more robust. So we have Margot Nicoletti of SQ Real Estate was so gracious to give us a video testimonial. So before I hit play, I just want you guys to maybe take a screen snap of all the benefits that you get by working with us and in monday.com.
My name is Margot Nicoletti. I work with SQ Real Estate, and I absolutely love using monday.com together with Post and Beam in order to keep our projects organized. So some of the things that we work on with Post and Beam, or that they handle for us really, is our marketing collateral, also our social media. And so if I'm ever wondering about the status of one of those things, I can just log into our Monday.com board and I can know if I need to do something or if the item is in Post and Beam's hands. And the awesome thing is that anytime you change the status on it, it sends an email. They have it customized so that we are notified when things happen, which is awesome. The other thing is that it saves all of our data. So I've been in the position where I've forgotten to save some files and I'm able to easily go into our Monday.com board and grab them. So it has been a super helpful organizational tool for teamwork.
Thank you, Margot. So great. So from here, that's our sort of portion of showing you very quickly. This was a very top line, very basic view of how we work with Monday.com and our listing package. But now it's time for us to turn you over to really the star of the show today, Gidon Sobel.
Well, these accolades, and my picture was 3 times the size of your picture. It's like,
well, we had to squeeze 2 of us.
Looking forward. It's really inspiring, frankly, just to hear from people new to Monday, embracing Monday, and seeing the value, customers seeing the value. That's really just warms our hearts. Those of us that kind of eat, sleep, and drink Monday. So, really keep up the great work, and hopefully you can share that goodness more broadly. So, all right. So, folks, you've had kind of the first course, I guess, with Carrie and Christine, and getting an initial understanding of how Monday works and how it can be used in a marketing and collateral context. So, I want to just share a little bit more and our background in Monday and specifically how Monday can be super helpful to folks in the real estate community. Feel free to continue to add your comments in the chat as we go along, and we'll pause as appropriate to kind of respond. So let me click ahead here. All right. So as you heard a couple of times before in the call, I use this expression, have you been bitten by the Monday bug? If you haven't yet, you will be. It's just a matter of time. But really, it's really just a cute way of thinking about Monday. It's just one of those things is once you've touched it, once you've used it, it's hard to kind of leave it alone, and it kind of gets into your head and you start thinking about how you can apply it to various aspects of your business and your personal life. And so it's really a useful way to remember that infectiousness, if you like, in a good way of the platform. And for us, that started about 4 or 5 years ago, and we continue to really love everything about Monday.com. So let's talk about Purple Plum and who we are as a Monday.com partner. We are actually a platinum channel partner. That's the highest tier of partner. And what that means is we focus on all aspects of Monday.com. We sell licenses. We provide a variety of services, including onboarding and strategy, implementation, training, support. And we focus on several areas. The beauty of Monday is it's really applicable universally, and it's impossible for any one partner or company to focus on everything. So we typically gravitate to areas that we have an affinity towards, that we have a passion for, that we have some background in. And for us, it's real estate, it's retail, it's restaurants, creative marketing, relevant here, of course, to Post and Beam, and a couple more as you see on the list here. And what's unique about us is we're 100% focused on Monday.com. We don't work with other platforms, other traditional packages, other SaaS platforms. We just I like to say we bet the farm on Monday because we feel so strongly about it, and we really believe that by focusing, we can add that extra bit of something to our customers. Along the way, we've been fortunate to win some awards. We won an award for our real estate solution last year. And I was also privileged enough to be featured on the Monday Elevate show last year, talking about Monday for real estate and how it's been a game changer for the real estate community at large. And down at the bottom there, pictures with the founders of Monday.com. Hopefully those will be worth some money in the future. So that's just a little bit about us. And so you know where we fit in. We don't work for Monday.com. We're a partner. And what we do as partner is really complementary to Monday.com. So let's dig into the real estate side of the house. I heard this recently and I just couldn't resist sharing it. This is a quote that I heard from a real estate friend of mine. it's manual. That's how it's done, and that's how it's always been done. It's Excel, it's whiteboards, and it really resonated with me because that's what we've heard from customers over the last 3 or 4 years. The real estate community has been really underserved by technology. Either it's very focused, or it's too complex, or it doesn't hit the mark. And invariably, folks kind of fall back to the old way, the way it's always been done. And even sharing it with Carrie and Christine recently, they were both nodding their heads when they saw this. So this seems to be a theme, and that's really why we kind of got involved with real estate with Monday, because many of our early customers were coming to us with this itch, and they were from the real estate community, and it seemed like Monday was beginning to scratch that itch. So what we saw in those early years, and we continue to see this when we talk to customers, are these challenges, really themes that we're seeing across folks in the real estate community, whether it be small brokerages or larger teams. And I think these will resonate with those of you on the call and on the webinar here. No end-to-end visibility. I'm stuck in my existing platform. It's very inflexible. I wanted to add another step. I can't do that. I can't really have actionable data. I don't know when I need to complete a task or follow up on something. I can't connect to other systems that I have. I don't even know where stuff is. It's buried somewhere in some drive or some application. Not everyone knows what's going on across the team and who's accountable for what. Certainly, I can't see anything on my mobile device. And ironically, this is an industry which is very much on the go. And so access to information on phones obviously is super important. And of course, siloed technology and processes. People just stick to their lane and no one knows what's going on in the other cubicle or out in the field. And, this last one I think is really important when it comes to technology, because technology typically takes time and effort and headaches really to get done. And that often is a barrier. And people kind of kick the can down the road a lot when it comes to embracing new technology. And with Monday being one of those no-code, low-code platform, you'll hear that term, it's very quick and easy to set up. You don't need a programmer. It's certainly something that a team can manage internally once they're initially set up and can really embrace the platform and evolve with it versus having to, outsource to programmers and, go through lengthy implementation. So these were some of the themes that we saw, and we really felt that Monday could do an awesome job of really addressing each of them. And so what really ensued was us we as Purple Plum, kind of focus on applying Monday to the various aspects of kind of the real estate ecosystem, whether it be an initial sales funnel and CRM or transaction management, from listing through to closure, the operational aspects, things on the back office, property management, lending operations, and then even some of the association activities, whether it be the real estate associations or homeowner associations. Each of these areas are kind of ripe for the picking with Monday.com. And as we go to the next slide, I call this the pin the tail on the donkey slide. Those of you that know that kids game, essentially you can look through the slide and kind of pin the tail on any one of these little boxes. Invariably, 4 or 5 of these will be an area of opportunity on your team and your business. And Monday does really well in each of these boxes. I've only included the boxes here that where Monday is a really good fit, not anything that's a reach or a stretch. And as you can see, it's pretty broad and covering each of those 7 areas that I mentioned before. For today, what we're going to do is just focus on these 2. And our initial real estate solution is focused on transaction management, and our demo will go through many of these steps and also some of the back office operational aspects as well, onboarding team members, managing training, dealing with vendors, special projects, that type of thing. So that's really kind of allowing us to zoom in on what we're going to cover for the next of the webinar. Okay, so we've got our tail pinned on a couple of donkeys over here, and we'll keep moving. All right, so let's talk about what have we produced as Purple Plum. So we have created what we call solutions, and these are really prepackaged templates that we make available to customers. We initially focused on transaction management, And we won an award for that last year, which is super exciting. And we're going to focus more on that today. And we've also just recently put out our second solution around property management. Again, totally different, but very similar in a way as well, because you're managing aspects of real estate operations. So that's kind of the thing that you're going to be seeing more of today.
And Gidon, can I just jump in? I don't know if you mentioned this or not, I apologize, but you have a realtor on your team, right?
Yes, we do. And you know, she's awesome because she's been involved in the business, but she also understands Monday.com. And you know, that just brings us internal knowledge of what's important, but also some credibility to customers that, you know, we're invested in this particular industry. So yeah, great question. And that's a good segue to, you know, why Monday.com and then why Monday.com for real estate. So one of the, the questions we get is, you know, what's different about Monday versus any other platform or technology platform for real estate? And, you know, this is my way of kind of thinking through things. And, you know, these two factors are really important, I think, because Monday.com is not just a custom package that you're purchasing. You're really building a platform that has foundational building blocks. So you kind of assemble, much like Legos, to build the structure and the flow that you need for your team. And it's a very kind of, overused term, but plug and play, very, malleable, and can quickly be changed and built upon. And so that's really Monday as a whole. That is kind of the essence of Monday. It's flexible building blocks, easily assembled. And then with that comes, a lot of great features, whether it be starting a clock on a task or measuring someone's capacity in hours or in transactions, or great dashboarding, and then apps that sit on top of that. It's really feature rich, and all at a really low cost, because you're getting the platform. You're not just buying a small module called real estate transaction management, and then you have to have another module for property management. So a lot of value there in terms of building blocks and features, and that's really the platform in its generic sense. And then we have as I just mentioned, our real estate solutions, and where they come in is they really play two types of role. If you're a small team that don't need anything particularly complex or customized, then our solution, our templates, really serve as a turnkey, a jumpstart to your, digitization, if you like, with minimal setup, right? And that's what we're going to be demoing today. Or if you are a more sophisticated team with, 75, 100, 200 agents, and we have some of those, then what our solution serves as is more inspiration of what can be built pretty quickly. And with an IT team on the customer side, can really then be kind of expanded to what's relevant for that particular company. But it creates that vision of what's possible. And so that's really why we have our solutions for these two purposes, a jumpstart or inspiration of what's really possible. Okay. And then just some testimonials. I don't have the video testimonials here, so I'll have to give that one to you guys. But we have some Atlas Real Estate here on the left. They're a large team based in Colorado, and they're using Monday for many aspects of their operations. And then here we have Adina Realty. It's a small team, and they're using it, driven by our solution in a much smaller context. So Monday is applicable to large teams and small teams, and that's the message here. Okay, so I think we're ready to shift into the demo. Before I do that, I just want to give folks just a visual here. I'm not going to be grading anyone on remembering this chart, but what this is just highlighting is we have a series of pieces. These are all boards or dashboards in Monday.com. And this just highlights how we focus on the selling side of the business, the buying side of the business, the operational side of the business, and the big picture through dashboards. And we're going to talk through this flow, starting with the listing side. And to orient everyone, Monday, obviously many pieces here. So what we're going to be looking at is what we call a workspace. So we have all of our real estate templates here in a singular workspace. And you can see on the left all the different boards and dashboards that are part of that. And we'll go there in a moment. Here's an example of a dashboard. This is a year-to-date performance dashboard for a sample brokerage, and great illustration of widgets that are available to kind of visualize and summarize information. It's all live. It's all being pulled from the data, and it gives the leadership of the team opportunity to see exactly where things are at a given point in time. And then finally, kind of this is where all the action is at the detail level. We have a constable board. You heard Christine and Carrie mention that. You heard their customer mention boards. That's kind of the building block of Monday. And here we see an example of a listings board where we have properties in various stages of the process, pre-market, coming soon, and then this kind of split view of the details of the property, but also visualization of that property on a map. So that's what we're about to jump into as soon as I kind of change screens here.
Yeah,
Any
that's
questions?
actually a great point. You mentioned you briefly talked about boards and groups, and we kind of didn't really give that overview on Monday, but just those basic building blocks of how. Yeah,
it's a little bit of terminology, but then once you're there, you're off to the races, right?
Yes, very easy to manage.
That's right. Okay, so again, same screens you saw before. This is the live Monday environment, and I'm going to just step through various aspects of this. It's not going to be a click-through demo because it will take a little bit longer than we have today to go through every step and fill out every field. And also, if you've seen me type, you would prefer me to do it the way I'm going to do it right now. So we'll just kind of click through, and I'll make various call outs and share some insights that hopefully will be relevant. And of course, jump in with questions in the chat as we go along. So this is an overview of a workspace. I like to start with the big picture because I think it helps to see, plan with the end in mind, see what's the end result of all of this versus getting stuck in the weeds. The weeds are important, but knowing and seeing the big picture is equally important. So if we click on our first dashboard, which is a year-to-date performance dashboard, as I had in that previous screenshot. So here we see a very standard Monday dashboard. We've built this kind of summarizing data from the underlying boards that we mentioned. You can establish a company goal, see your progress to that, have some key metrics here in terms of total closings, the buyer-seller ratio, sales information, fees information, the zip code served. The data is pretty self-explanatory, different commission factors, volume by team, by month, lead sources. It's really an ongoing opportunity what could be here, and we just have some sample metrics on this particular dashboard. What's also great about this is if something piques our interest, we can just click into it and see the details. And that's super valuable with Monday, that it's interactive and you can drill into it and then go straight into the given transaction live. So that's just an example of kind of a year-to-date dashboard. If something is noteworthy, again, zoom in that way. Great functionality, very easy to use, very easy to set up. So that's on the what have we done so far side of the house. Well, then let's talk about what is about to happen for the rest of the year. So same concept, but now this is forward-facing, pulling from our underlying pending deals, and we can see what projections we have in line for the team. Again, similar information, but forward-facing. And this these dashboards continue to evolve and become more and more feature-rich and create more and more insightful information to customers.
So, Gidon, we have a couple of questions. I just want to jump in.
Right.
So one of them is, can the brokerage performance dashboard also be used for me as an individual agent?
Yeah, so again, these are illustrations of what's possible. Great question. So one of the neat things with Monday is if things are set up right, you can filter the whole dashboard by person. So it happens that I'm the only person assigned here, but if other folks were involved in these transactions, we could just filter out by that individual, and the data would be person specific.
That's amazing.
That's another feature there.
The other question is, where do the where does the financial data come from in the performance dashboard?
Yeah, so we'll get to that. All of the data that you're seeing in these dashboards are coming from these boards that we're going to go in before. So
got it.
These pending deals and payout boards, that they house the data, the commission information, the payout information. So as long as information's in a board, it can be in a dashboard. That's kind of the general rule of thumb here. We're not just pulling it in from some spreadsheet that we're loading on the back end. It's all live data in Monday that's just being neatly summarized in a dashboard.
Nice.
Okay. Another example, we call this the leaderboard, and this is more just giving that little kind of competitive flair within a team and allowing the team members and leadership to see how are individuals progressing. So here we see the different folks on the team. Gary Judah seems to be winning the race here so far in terms of units closed this month. And as well as dollars, as you would expect. But you can see the breakdown in terms of the counts, the dollars, of what type, who's selling the most of which type of transaction. Grace doesn't have any, cash transactions for whatever reason. So you can see those insights very, very clearly. And then, just a different version of that, kind of looking at a month over month comparison between team members. And there's so many different ways you can visualize the data. These are just kind of touching on a few of those. And then, when it comes to big picture, calendars are obviously important as well. So what Monday allows you to do is, as long as the property has a date associated with it, you can build this calendar view, either as part of the board or as part of a dashboard. You can then have this showing either, on a display in the kitchen area or just as part of a dashboard here. And these are a live transaction. So we can go in, we can ask questions, we can see information for each property right there from the calendar and even move them around. So these are good illustrations of how dashboards in Monday work and how they can aggregate information from the underlying boards in a meaningful and easy to digest way. Right? Okay, so we now we've seen the big picture. We now need to see where the work's getting done. Where do the TCs live? How are agent commissions being calculated? So we're going to jump in and do that. So we're going to go to the listings board, and obviously that's an important foundational aspect of real estate operations. So what you're seeing in front of you is a list of all properties kind of in the pipeline for this particular team. We've got one property that's pre-markets, several that are coming soon, a bunch that are active, and each one has a very rich set of information. And I can scroll from left to right, and you can see all this rich data that's come in here, whether it be information about the property, about the client, and I could go on scrolling for a while. That's one way of looking at information in Monday. Another way of looking at information Monday, which is kind of different from a spreadsheet, is it's not just wide, it's also deep. So we can look into a particular property. Let's look at 1371 Mary Lane, and we can see all this great information in a more easy to digest way. So on the left-hand side, I've got all the information here. On the right-hand side, I have select information where you can group information using, give me the home info, the client info, the agent info, the market info. We can create these little tabs and these little groupings of information very easily. And that just makes information easier to find. So that's really a key part of how Monday helps to organize. What's also important about Monday is you essentially have a Slack channel on every line. So I can put in a comment here, at Jim. This is where you're going to see my wonderful typing, everyone. What is the status of this, right? And then he can respond, and I get a notification, an update very quickly. So that's really where the collaboration in Monday kicks in. And it can be at a property level. So you're not sending an email about each of 7 properties in your inbox, and you're getting a response, and you're not sure is response number 3 for property number 1 or vice versa, and you accidentally respond the wrong thing to the wrong person. it could get, I'm sure, out of hand very quickly. So here, everything is kind of neatly packaged at the property level, but still very collaborative. So a little bit of insight into kind of the structure of this board for listing. In terms of kind of orientation here, what's also important is not everything is one monolithic view. You can easily break things up. So we can say, okay, I'm a date person. I need to make sure that all the dates are being hit for all my properties. So we can isolate the dates and look all the dates. I want to make sure that all the features for every property are accurate. So let's look at the feature view for every property. Someone's involved in compliance, and they can then focus on the documents, the various agreements associated with every property. And as you can see, it's very easy to kind of just isolate which columns are on every view. You can create new ones very easily. That way, everyone gets to kind of consume the information in a way that's intuitive to them. So these views over here, we've just kind of hidden the columns that we don't care about. You can also do the same thing with the rows. You can say, you know what, I only want to focus on coming soon properties. So here we have a view that's only looking at coming soon and pre-market. How did I do that? Because I just have a little filter here and I saved it that way. And you can do the same things for active, pending, and sold. So the real question that I'm sure everyone's asking is, so how do I get everything into this board, right? There's like 100 pieces of information for property. Are we just going in like a spreadsheet and just typing them in? That certainly is possible. And in some cases, that makes the most sense. But in other cases, it doesn't. And so Monday has this great feature called a form. It's really just another window into the board. I think of the board as like a cube, and there are multiple sides to the cube, multiple windows and doors of getting in, and a form is yet another. You've got the tabular view, and then you have the form view. So this would be an opportunity for a listing agent or someone on the team, or even someone remote, to kind of enter in all the information that's required to fully complete the necessary details for a listing. And you can see it's the location, the structure, various aspects of that structure, how many levels, legal information, customer information, contact information, all the details that are needed to really produce the collateral that Carrie and Christine produces, as well as manage the property through its life cycle. And at the end, or at any point, you can actually include an attachment if necessary, or any kind of unique information. So just by submitting this form, this is available to anyone. And what's really neat about this is this form doesn't need to, you don't even have to be a member of Monday to use this form. You can just have this as a direct link on the internet, and anyone can fill this out. And once it's filled out, lo and behold, a new property exists on the board. I'm going to show you one more thing, which I think is really, really powerful about Monday, is, we talked about the ability to see the details of the property. We've talked about the collaboration aspect. So the next piece is kind of that checklist mindset. So what we've set up here is a typical set of tasks of getting a property ready for listing. So do we have the listing disclosures? Do we have the property description? Have we ordered photos? We set up utilities, everything, utility information, all these tasks. These could be obviously changed at any point in time. But the beauty of this is, if there's an issue, then we can flag it. Then the issue in general for the property is noted as flagged. And so you can see now, when I come back out here, I have a big fat red sign here, and the row has turned red, so that I know, looking at all my properties, there's a problem, and I can drill into this. We're 85% done, but we've got a blocker, so someone needs to go in there and look into that issue, and then I can notify them. So really, a lot of rich functionality in Monday. And as the property goes through its life cycle, we'll change the status, move it from coming soon to active, under contract, and take it through its life cycle. So that is kind of a pretty detailed overview of a Monday board applied to real estate. And what I think is the coolest feature is the map feature, because, as I shared in the screenshot, that just brings it to life. So you can look at a property either in a list view here, or you can just click on the property, and look into the details and actually make changes as necessary in a live and an intuitive way. And even go and, make, comments and requests of the team right there from the map, because everyone knows where the property is on the map, and not necessarily that it's item 17 on the list. So it just makes for a more intuitive way of communicating.
Wow.
All right. Go ahead.
There's a ton of questions, Gidon. So we're gonna hold off.
Okay.
For the Q&A, but there was one question before you come out of your demo: is can we see what the buyer's page looks like?
Yes, I'm going to skip to those, and I'm not done. If I intimated that I was done, I was just catching my breath, but I'm going to keep going here. So just to finish the selling side, we've got the listing piece, and then I just want to highlight this cute feature called the offer portal. So this is also, again, using that form concept that we mentioned. So this would be an opportunity for even an external agent, not part of the team, to share information and make an offer on a property. So they would just, if they have one of those nifty collateral sheets, indicate what MLS property they're interested in putting an offer in on behalf of their clients, what's the location, and any information they can, the financing, the offer, the down payment, the lender, all of that can be kind of submitted, and then that will just fall into what we call an offer board, and we can see all the offers coming in by property, and we can see are they, what's the relative goodness or not of that offer in terms of the net benefits to the brokerage and to the seller, and all of this can be managed as a board versus, again, emails or something similar to that. So again, you can see the same concepts of board and form just being used in a different workflow, as we would call it. Okay, and then I'm going to just jump here to I'll come back to buyers in a moment just to finish the process here, just in the interest of time. So once a property has made it from coming soon to active, and then it goes to sold, then we're going to have these pending deals. So this is where we capture the details of the steps required to close out a transaction. And now we've got a different set of checklist items, not the same one before. And it's a long list, because these are compliance, these are dates, these are kind of, let's say, the less glamorous side of the process, I guess, but they're very important. And if you miss one of these dates, if you haven't, arranged for a seller closing emails, then that's a problem. So, if there's an issue, we'll have to notify it, or if it hasn't been done, then someone will need to follow up on it. So it's just a lot of opportunity to kind of capture these milestones and dates and hold different team members accountable to completing them. And finally, when it's all said and done, and we've had a closing and money is about to exchange hands, this board helps us keep track of, well, okay, who's getting paid what. So I'll jump into one of these here, and we can see the commission information. This is all derived from the board, right? We had the offer, we put in the price, we know what the commission rates are for the buying agent and the listing agent, and then this will calculate the various components of the transaction. And in addition, using standard Monday apps, we can generate, and this is just a pro forma, a document, and we call it a disbursement authorization, and that will have that information summarized on the form. Obviously, this Latin is not a real example, but just illustrates what could be done. And then this could be sent to someone, for signature, and we actually have this connected up to DocuSign, where we could potentially take a particular document and send it off to someone for signature. And there are many Monday apps in the Monday marketplace that facilitate the creation of documents and the signing of documents. And then I think that's probably good for now, just in the interest of time, in terms of the sell side. And then just on the buy side, this is just a different model. So this is an opportunity of how we can help buyers just track, properties that we've helped them visit, and we can have showing logs so we can really document which properties we've shown to Jennifer and which properties we've shown to Samuel. And so they're very versatile. These are pretty simple boards, but I think the concept is very clear. It's an easy way to track these types of activities on the buy side as well. There's one thing I just wanted to show because I think it's really cool as well. Monday has this neat way of visualizing information. And so we created this people operations board, and this is kind of like more of an internal board. How do we give credits to the team? How do we notify the team of what's? I think I have another version here of what's happening on the team. And so I don't know why we are having some slowness here, but what this does is this is a very neat view. So this is actually saying, okay, who's overloaded and who's not. So anyone that's red, that's saying we've given them too many properties as a TC to manage, let's say, because we can set capacity at, let's say, 6 or 7 properties a week. But if we give them more, it's going to turn red. In some cases, this blue is like saying, well, they're almost full. And when it's fully blue, then they're totally full. And then when it goes red, we've given them too much. Just a great way of visualizing capacity on the team, visualizing production on the team, and even kind of the kind of warm and fuzzy sentiments that we might want to share. So there you have it, a kind of a quick run through what's possible with Monday for real estate. I think we covered a good chunk of it, and I think you can see there's more. And really, it's just the beginning of what's possible. It's inspiration, it's templates, it's a jump start, and I think a lot of opportunity to take it in multiple directions.
It's incredible. It's like candy for a transaction coordinator, for sure.
That's why you're in marketing, right? So
that's right. I guess before we get into the questions, I think we just want to share. Okay, shameless pitch. We would love the opportunity to work with you. I don't know, Carrie, if you can bring the slide up.
Yep. Don wanted to share his.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we should. Let me just skip to Al.
Because you might all be wondering, okay,
yes,
what does it cost?
Yeah, exactly. So yes, shameless pitch, right? So shameless pitch number one. So from our perspective and a Monday.com Purple Plum perspective, this is a good way to think about how this works. Starting with a small team, we can offer an enterprise license that's up to 10 people for $59.95. That's an annual subscription to Monday.com. And then basically you get everything to the right for free. You get all of our solution templates, everything that I've demoed. We'll give you 3 free hours of onboarding to kind of set it up, train you on it, help you fine tune those checklists, kind of the statuses just to meet the needs of your team. And to the extent that you want more help, we'll give you a discount on any subsequent professional services. And so really, you're only investing in the platform and you're getting all the Purple Plum real estate goodness for free. So that's kind of what we have to offer. And obviously, if you have a larger team, we can talk about discounted pricing as well. So
if you are interested in working with us from a listing perspective, we have a couple of options to work with us. And I know a lot of our clients are on the call now. The first one is the just listings only. So if you want to work with us by the listing, our fee is $199 per listing. We do have a one-time $1,000 setup fee. But as Carrie mentioned, your listing collateral includes an 8.5 by 11 double-sided listing brochure, a digital brochure with a QR code, and 4 social media listing images. Again, we gave you a quick sort of demo on how it works. It's super easy. Everything is custom to you. It'll really wow your sellers and completely take you off the screen and, keep you in front of your clients. You won't have to worry about a thing. The other option, if you want to go beyond that, is to work with us on a monthly basis. We will not only do all of your listings, up to 36 listings a year, or in a 12-month period, but we will also include in that a monthly one-on-one marketing strategy call where we'll get on a Zoom with you and we'll take a look at the month ahead and we'll talk about what's happening in your market, what's happening in your business, and what are some of the ideas and some of the things that we can do to help you promote your business and continue to move it forward. So included in that would be 8 social media posts that would be designed by us for you with your content, and then as well as a monthly newsletter. We would design and help you create the content for a monthly newsletter on whatever service provider you're currently working with. If you're interested in working with us, that's an $1,800 per month partner package with a $750 setup fee, one-time setup fee. We would love the opportunity to chat with you about that. You can just click the QR code to set up a meeting with me. And that's our little shameless pitch. So thank you for that. Let's get to the questions because there's a ton of them. Let's see here. Okay. And Leslie asks, are you finding teams using this in addition to the transaction management software used by their brokerage?
Right. I think it's a bit of both. It really just depends. And sometimes it's more supplementary, right? Because I think you can configure those like little itty bitty dates and activities, putting up the yard sign, that type of thing. So it really just depends. And that's the beauty of Monday. It can be complementary, right?
Next question is, does Monday integrate with the local MLSs?
Right. So the way I typically answer that question, MLS is a pretty heavy tech type of technology. So Monday with an API has the ability to integrate, but it really just depends on that particular location's MLS. And that's more development. Monday.com being this generic platform doesn't have these established, 1,000 integrations to all the MLSs across the country. But conceptually, there can be a kind of a connector built between Monday and an MLS as long as both sides have that API, that ability to open up the platform. We've seen a lot of, just as a similar example, we've done a lot of work with customers that, are taking leads from, the platforms like Zillow and Opendoor to kind of ingest information on a daily basis and begin their yield analysis to decide are they going to kind of proceed with a given property based on that, whatever metrics that brokerage uses. So there's definitely the ability to integrate, but that's more custom work. That's not going to be something that's kind of out of the box with Monday with basic no code, low code templates.
Okay. Well, so the next question is similar. We use Dotloop for our e-signature platform. I know personally at Post and Beam, we use DocuSign. So does Monday integrate with Dotloop or DocuSign or any of the e-signature platforms?
So many of them, Dotloop being more real estate specific, I don't believe is on the official Monday list, but again, that's more of an API conversation. I think each one of these is so individual that it just requires an offline conversation. But there are many like DocuSign, as I indicated, that are standard integrations with Monday. As long as you log in, you're good to go. Right? Pick your template and then put your fields on the document, and then there you go. Okay.
Next question. Can we automate emails to our clients when certain tasks are due or when they happen? Okay.
Yes. And that's just like magic with Monday. You can set those up, and I know you guys are doing the same thing. It could be day of, X hours before, X days before, and they can get nicely branded emails or just simple notifications. And honestly, you can have your clients log in if that's something you're comfortable with. There are different ways of collaborating with Monday where non-licensed users can still participate at no cost. And that's really powerful as well if you want to make some of the journey a self-service journey for the customer.
That's awesome. That was one of the questions. Can you speak to your clients through Monday?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that means communicate, but yes.
Yes.
Yes. And
collaborate. You can also collaborate. I know that.
That's right. That's right.
Right. I was thinking about that, especially on the buyer side. If you like when you were showing your board where you have all the properties they've looked at and you can have notes and it could be very collaborative.
Let's rank my top 1, 2, and 3, and let's have pros and cons, and let's just have this as a conversation versus kind of, again, emails.
Yeah.
And even theoretically, you can have pictures that you've taken and upload them. I noticed this mold issue here. Do you think this is a problem? And that can all be stored. It's more of a personalized, history of that visit to the property.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Next question. I love this question. Does your solution integrate with Post and Beam's listing package?
That's a great question. I wonder who put that in there, right? It does. And I think we have to show that, right? Even though we are on the final page. So maybe if I can just steal the screen for a second, yep. I'll quickly just illustrate. And again, there are different ways of integrating with Monday. So here we have, if you remember everyone, I had that documents view of properties, and we've got this nice column that we added here for collateral. And let's say for this Mason Mill property, we wanted to request some collateral. We click on the button, we're in Post and Beam land. And with a more sophisticated integration, we can actually, put some data in here as well. And so that just means that you're living in Monday on both sides of the house, your side as the brokerage and the Post and Beam from a marketing perspective.
That's awesome. And then the last question is, there's a lot of private financial information. How do you keep it secure?
Yeah, great question. So everything in Monday has permissions, right? So you can set permissions at what we call, this happens to be on a board right now. So you can set up board level permissions. So that controls who sees what, who can do what. You can even get into a situation where you can only see rows that you're assigned to. So if I'm a particular, if I'm a customer and I'm on a board and I only want to be able to, you guys only want to allow that customer to see one row, then we'll say I can only see a column where marketing or the customer's name is associated with that item. So it's very, very secure in that respect. In addition, if you have a sensitive column, let's just say a listing agreement, you can also control who gets to see that column, and you can restrict that column as well. So it can be very tightly controlled within the team itself, as well as for third parties logging on.
Also, there actually is one more question. Is that $59.95 per year?
Yes, that's an annual subscription cost for the software, and that means you get all of the new features that Monday releases. Plus, continued use of our templates, which work on that platform. And the beauty of Monday is once you're buying the platform, you're not limited to using it just for your real estate transaction management. You could be using it for, we want to track new agents coming onto the team. We want to, plan a holiday party. We want to do all of our marketing. We want to, whatever processes you are tracking in Google Sheets and Excel spreadsheets around the team, you can then move to Monday, and there's no extra cost. You're paying per seat and you have unlimited usage of the platform.
That's awesome.
And I will testify that once you start using it, you really do want to put every aspect of your life into Monday.com. Start planning everything. You want to organize everything in Monday.com. And I am not an organized person. And that's coming from me, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is now in Monday, right? And
everything.
Vacation planning.
Vacation planning, right? Exactly. Yep. Awesome. Well, if there are no other questions, we've kept you guys 6 minutes longer than we promised. And we just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. For those of you who are here, you will get a copy of the replay in your email. And for those who registered and were not able to attend, they'll probably be seeing this, watching the replay as well. If you want to get in touch with either Carrie or I or Gidon and get some more information, or learn a little bit more about how we can support you, just click on the QR codes and shoot us an email, or you can take a screenshot or look at the emails right there on the screen. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for being here. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.